Alright guys, I want to welcome you back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, I'm a kid. This is my car. I'll show you my WRX later on. Maybe not this video, but you can go through the videos. Today I'm just going to be trying to clean up my motor because supposedly the exhaust manifold for the new turbo that I got is supposed to be coming in soon. I just gotta wait for Enjuka Racing to give me like a shipping number or whatever. But I want to get this engine inside the car. So this is how the 240 sits right now. It looks pretty junky, but all it needs are good parts. So obviously this is the roll cage. I explained that in a different video. That's my crackless dash that I got out of this 240. Aluminum radiator that came with it, with the fan on it. Spoker steering wheel way down there. Way down there. The glove box sitting right there. That's the steering column cover. Alright, so I just want to get majority of this stuff out so I can plug in the wiring, do the pedals and all of that stuff, get everything back up, and let's see where we're at from there. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to use this wire wheel on the motor itself, get it a little cleaned up, and I'm going to use my GoPro, like put a head mount on, because I really don't want to be holding this camera. I want to be able to use two hands. So let me just switch over to the GoPro. But I just want to show you how everything looks as it sits right now. Unfortunately, yes, it did have to sit outside because my garage is not cleaned or fixed like my dad said it was going to be. So let's switch to the GoPro. I'm going to need 2 people in order for me to get the pedal back in, because where the bracket is sitting like higher or lower, so I have to have someone angle the bracket or the brake booster for me to get the nuts in. Same thing with the clutch master. So I'm gonna just switch over to the GoPro now. This is how my car is looking now, so it's pretty bare. The majority of my parts are sitting right here. The 4 calipers, the motor. Don't worry about that. The crackless dash, I don't know if I showed you guys that shit. Look at that shit, fucking mint. But anyways, so the wiring harness for the motor is sitting right here. So I'm gonna see when my sister comes home. She could probably like push that in for me and see if I can get that in tonight before it gets dark. So this is the GoPro view. Not sure if you can see all of this, but I'll check the video after. If I use this video, obviously it means it's pretty good. But I'm gonna just use the wire wheel and try to see if I can go over certain areas to clean it up. Let's just get started. Honestly hoping you can see this. Maybe the GoPro would adjust to darkness, but I'm really just going inside. So I emptied everything that was in the front is now outside the car, so I can get to this side of the car. You can't see it, but it's I just need to get the brake booster and shit, all of that stuff back in here. Alright, so right now my car looks like a wiring catastrophe. I plugged in the ECU to the wiring specialties harness, and I plugged it into the chassis harness. As of right now, it's as much as I can do because can't really do anything else. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get this transmission off, and so I can get the new clutch in. Once the new clutch is in, then I can put the transmission back on, get it jacked up so I can get that old oil pan off, put the new oil pan on, and that should be able to slide the engine in. I'm gonna do it without the exhaust manifold. Like, this is the turbo that came with it, the T28, but I'm not gonna do it with this turbo. I'm gonna do it with the new turbo. It's gonna be a bitch to get in, but I need to get this off the ground. Like, I really need to get it off the ground, so I'm just trying to get this transmission off. Alright, so you probably missed it because it was dark, but I got this light right here trying to hook us up. But anyways, so the motor is separated from the transmission, as you can see right here. I'm gonna get, hold on, let me see what the fuck is this. Alright, I'm gonna get the pressure plate off. I'm gonna get the clutch out. I'm leaving the flywheel on because I do not have a new flywheel. So I'm gonna get everything unbolted. See what's the pressure plate. There you go. See how the pressure plate looks. See how the clutch looks. That'll tell me how this person was driving. Probably driving like shit, or were they not driving like shit? And yeah, I'll figure everything out from there. But then I get the clutch on. Put the pressure plate back on, put the transmission back in, hoist the engine in the air, and put the oil pan on. Sounds like a lot, but let's just get it done. The sooner the better. Alright, so I ran into a dilemma. This pressure plate didn't actually fit on the engine, so I used the OEM pressure plate with the new clutch, bolted everything back up, and it sat flush. This one actually didn't sit flush with this, which is fucking stupid because it was supposed to be for this motor, but it is what it is. I got the new, what is it, fucking draw bearing on. Got the pilot bearing inside. Now we just gotta get the transmission back on, and then I think it would be done for tonight. Right, got the old oil pan off. You can tell how damaged it is. You see this? This is actually how I bought it. On the inside. Oh, fuck. The inside is pretty bad. But fuck that shit. You got the new oil pan right here. So just scraping off the old gasket, and then I'm gonna use some gasket maker around, some high temp gasket maker to seal up the new oil pan, and we should be good to go. Alright, for this oil pan, for these two bolt areas and these two bolt areas, they're not regular bolts like these, they're studs. So since you could barely get access to it, that's why I think they did that. So I'm gonna have to put the studs on the motor first, and then whatchamacallit, put the oil pan up. Alright, bad news. When I was getting the studs in the first one I got in, it tightened too much. So this is basically fucking stuck. So I'm just say fuck it, wing it. If I use the OEM bolt, it'll fit. So I'm gonna just do that and just say screw it. Whatever, not a big deal. Let's get to it. Right, so I made the trip to AutoZone and Home Depot. They did not have a stud. So I'm just gonna use that bolt and just fucking wing it. Alright, the oil pan is on and looking mint. Alright, we're almost there. Oddly enough, my dad came home and he gave me a little push, but I wound up fucking up the engine bay paint. Look at that. It's even worse over here. Look at that. Oh my god. Cut right through it. Dented the whole radiator support. Crazy, but motor's almost in. I just have to get it push it back a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but the motor mount is here, but that's right there, and shit is proving a little difficult, but we'll get it. Alright, the motor is in. I just need to run to Home Depot, not even Home Depot, AutoZone, and get like 8 bolts for the mount for the transmission, and then I was gonna get new hood bolts, and then I'm done. But it is looking pretty nice inside the engine bay. Let me move this light. Damn, it's good in there. Finally. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Have a good one.